Welcome back, everybody. This is Attunement Podcast number 11. The experiment for today is speaking as if the other person is a mountain, which once you see Samek, you'll see he is, because Samek's coming back from the Art of Accomplishment reunion, which is actually just 7 days of extremely intense emotional work all day. As I understand it, I wouldn't know. And Samek's going to tell us about it. Anything before we get into it, Samek?
My voice is shot, so it's gonna sound raspy, and that's okay.
Cool. What did you learn?
Projections, more projections work. I'll say that, the experiment or the exercise I came up with last week is very similar to what we did all weekend. They told us not to talk about it, but it is quite basically that for 3 days, but with like a small group of people well, and you're actually owning all your projections on the group and the people. And it's fucking terrifying. And as you're doing that, you're also doing emotional releases with the group, and that's fucking terrifying too. Imagine being in a hall of 50 people all like screaming and yelling. Oh my god, it's if for me, I didn't realize, but being in an actual room full of people doing anger release like just puts me in a little bit of collapse. So that was really interesting to notice. But yeah, it was just projections work all weekend and reclaiming projections and projections. So that's what I did.
And so that's what you did, but what's now? What do you see now? What's available to you now?
That's an interesting one because projections, like we did last week, just hits you, and intellectually you don't quite get it, but emotionally you feel different. So there's a lot of just 404ing. There's not like an insight per se. It's more, there's more space and there's more power and more love. And people have less of a control of their reality. Yeah, there's an experience of everything that's reflecting back to me is only that I am. So if I see someone as hyper competent or super powerful or really magical, then what they're reflecting back to me is just myself that I can't see. So I'm powerful and magical and really competent, but because I'm not owning it fully, it's being reflected back to me in projections. And something I've noticed is throughout the retreat, the only thing you can really see in someone else is things you already have in yourself. So you just can't see all of someone until you've owned and experienced more of life, or have more of you to you can see more of yourself. So it feels like a really interesting experience doing projections all fucking week with people, where at the end of the day it feels like everyone is just you, and you can't really like see more than you in anyone. And that becomes more and more clear throughout the retreat.
How do you expect this to change your life?
Oh, that's a good question. You can do projections with everyone and anyone. If anyone feels special and if anyone feels less than, if anyone doesn't feel incomparable to you as a person, then there is a projection on them that is probably not the right projection to have on them.
And when you say incomparable, you mean like someone doesn't feel like an absolute peer, or what do you mean?
An absolute peer would be a good word. And in other words, just like imagine like me and you. Like peer is like, oh, we're still comparing, but we're the same. Incomparable is like, I am a human being with my own reality, and you're a human being with your own reality. And it just doesn't Like, you just can't compare.
Mm.
And it's incomparable. So then there's no comparison at all. And that's when people just feel like that's when the projection of human feels the best on someone. I like to say, like, there's nothing you can, like, everything is a projection. So there's always going to be a projection on someone. And it's what kind of projection do you want on them? And if someone isn't an incomparable human that you get to interact with, then there's a negative or positive or even equal projection on them that you can reclaim and have a more open heart with them.
And incomparable human, I'm hearing like, I have my experience, you have your experience. Like, you know, for a really small example, like, I see red the way I see red, you see red the way you see red. I will never see red, but I can ask you about it and be curious about it. But like, our qualitative experiences of red are just fundamentally incomparable. Yeah. And the same is applied to everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically it. You're lagging, by the way.
Okay, how bad?
It's pretty robotic.
All right, we're gonna try. It's been bad, but I'm gonna try to switch into Wi-Fi. We're back. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't, we're fucked. Anything else here for you?
Another thing I've noticed is I talked to some really cool meditator people, and there is a power to luminosity. So the more awareness you have in a field, or like the more awareness you can have in a field, the more easily you can cut through projections. Because even when saying the projection, you can see it more clearly. And then when you do clearly say it, when your awareness is wide and you're not identified with just this, you can be here and then cut the projection in your body or in yourself, like the self projection, like the ego projection can be cut while holding luminosity in the entire field of awareness. So there is an experience of this feels easier for some people than others in doing projection work. And I do think meditation or just having more open awareness does help with projection work or a lot of the emotional work stuff.
And what are you projecting onto meditation?
Yeah, meditation, I'm projecting onto, I'll do I'm sorry for projecting on to you meditation that you give me my open and luminous awareness, when in reality, I give me my open and luminous awareness.
And I think part of what made me ask that question is, with you being at this very cool emotional work retreat that I'm not at, part of me is like, oh no, my goodness, Samek's getting the goodness and I'm not getting the goodness, and I need to make money to go over there and get the goodness. And then it's like, oh wait, that's exactly not what they're teaching. Yeah. Anything else here for you?
Yeah, it's funny. You can project onto everything. It's like, oh, I'm putting meditation on a pedestal. Whoopsie. Meditation just reflecting back to me that I am. Yeah, that's everything. We'll go back to you. What's been alive for you in the past week?
Anger, but we'll get to that later, because on a similar thread, the most obvious epiphany I had this week, a lot of what I was feeling was projecting. Can I ask you to unmute in case you laugh or something? Thanks. you were, like I just said, projecting onto Art of Accomplishment retreats that like I need them to grow or emotionally develop or feel at home in myself. And I was walking home last night or 2 nights ago, and I was thinking about that stuff. And then I had this pretty strong epiphany. I literally stopped walking and I went, oh my God. And I was like, there's all of the Art of Accomplishment teachings, and it's like enjoy over manage and authenticity over improvement, blah, 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 blah. And subconsciously, I was interpreting all of those as how do I grow faster? How do I emotionally develop faster? I was like, oh my God, the teachings aren't about how to grow faster. Like, but they're more about just how to like enjoy myself as I am, or to like be with myself, or just to exist, or to like do nothing. Yeah. And as I had a call with our friend Pablo, and you mimicked some of my ideas in a thing you created. And I was like, oh no, my goodness is leaving me in the form of my ideas being reproduced somewhere else. And then Pablo was like, sounds like your self-worth is attached to your ideas. And I was like, oh shit. You got me. And then similarly, I was like, oh shit, it seems like, and then I was similarly afraid. It's like, oh, Samek's gonna grow faster or be more developed than me, and then he's gonna leave me. And then I was like, oh, it sounds like my self-worth is in my growth or level of emotional development. I was like, oh, absolutely, like 100%. And then that got me to the kind of thing which is like, people are just at different levels of development. You're not like, this 4-year-old is fucking dumb because they're a 4-year-old. You're like, they're a 4-year-old. And this tree isn't like, I hate myself because I'm a 4-year-old tree. It's like, I'm a 4-year-old tree. It's like, I'm 25 and at whatever level of development on whatever axis I am. And so again, I was just like, oh, I can just be that. And another thing weaving into that is a question that hit me hard this week was, what makes people spend time with me? And it's like, that brings up all of my self-worth projections, I don't know, which is like, oh, they spend time with me because I'm emotionally competent, or they spend time with me because I'm funny, or they spend time with me because I'm nice, or they spend time with me because I have good ideas, because I'm smart, whatever. And then it's just like, oh, I don't know why people spend time with me. Like, I actually don't know. And it's like, why do I spend time with me? It's like, oh, I guess just because I'm here. I don't know. So yeah, there's a relaxing of like, there's like, I should make money. And it's like, oh, I can just be at the level of development I'm at. And instead of using these tools to try to make myself grow faster, I can use these tools to be who I am right now. Bang, bang, bang.
Bang. Yeah, when we started the retreat, the first thing Tara said was,
Be warned, I'm gonna scream into this pillow for a second.
okay, there's Greg out here.
It's pretty good at canceling it out, and I think it's hilarious. I don't know if Greg consents to this being on the podcast. We're gonna have to cut that out. That's so hype.
Okay, so Greg is screaming into a pillow right now.
This
sounds
is
angry.
this is such good content. Yeah, feel free to talk. I can also say words while this is happening if you want.
Yeah, I'll mute. I'll go back to you.
All right. I love this. I love the chaos. Emotional work and action, people. That's what we're all about. You were saying the first thing Tara said, but anything else alive for me? Yeah, I guess the other piece was anger. So I was doing this. I'm at a dance retreat center, which I'm volunteering at for room and board. There's a dance retreat, the Axis syllabus. It's very technical. It's very like, ooh, your shoulder is shaped like this. And when you bring it up, it wants to externally rotate. And when you bring it back, it wants to internally rotate. And the same thing with your hip joints and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, this seems kind of cool. So I'm there. And then this happens in most movement classes I go to. I got so mad because they're like, there's no right way to do it. Just like do it however your body wants to. But then like everyone's doing it the same way. And like everyone has like 10 years of dance experience and they're all like doing it like a dancer. And they're all doing it like faster than I can do it. And I'm like, whoa, I want to go really slow so that I can like attune to my joints. But everyone's going faster than me. I'm like, I should go faster. So basically I feel oppressed by the culture. And I get really mad. And honestly, one of the best times for me, I just like got in my car and drove and screamed. And like, that's kind of rare for me to do. So I'm kind of proud of myself for doing that. And like, bang. And it went better than I would say it usually does. It was an improvement. So I just felt really good. And then I was like, oh, I don't want to be here. Another way I described it is like, yeah, they were really nerding out about anatomy. I'm like, imagine, assuming you don't care about mushrooms like me, imagine you were in a all-day workshop with people nerding out about mushrooms. You'd be like, I want to fucking die. Oh my God, shut the fuck up. Holy shit. And everyone's like, oh my God, the internal flotation of my shoulder when I feel that in my shoulder socket. And when it's like that, it's like, dude, what the and I'm like, why are we here? Why are we here? But that's a projection on the group. It's like, why am I here? And it's like, wait, I don't want to be here. And then I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be here. So then I stopped going. And that felt good. And are you back?
Yeah. So Greg has just did an anger release. Happy. He seems happy. He's smiling.
Beautiful.
Come say hi. Come say hi.
Am I part
If you want to be on the podcast,
Am I part of the podcast now?
you are.
All right.
Hey.
Hello.
Samek panned over to you as you were doing that.
Yeah, he's jumping right now.
Are you okay with that being in the podcast?
Of course. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you were recording.
Nah, you're good. It was great content.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Oh, I feel so good. Oh.
happy days.
I woke up and took a shower, and then I was like, fuck. I could feel it coming back. Like all the tension.
Yeah.
And I was just getting really fucking angry at it.
What I was saying for the Tara thing was when we started the retreat, Tara was what she said. It was basically advice, which is try to imagine you're playing this entire retreat. You're just here to play. And that's the fastest way to learn. And also you're not really trying to learn, you're just here to play. It's like experiment, but actually just play. So the entire weekend I've just been playing, and you're not out here trying to improve or get better or trying to be more yourself. You're just here to play and have fun and then run the experiments. You get this container to play in, which is projections. And as you do that, you automatically grow because it's our nature to grow and learn when we're playing. And that's the fastest way to learn and grow is to play. And when you say like the the value thing, it's funny. I find it funny because it feels like that question of value or like your ranking all just falls away when you're playing. Really, like you're having a lot of fun and playing with a lot of people.
Nice.
Even the facilitators are just playing. So then you all just feel like kids playing. So then you're like, what am I comparing? Ooh. And that makes the whole experience a lot more enjoyable too.
Yeah.
And all of the AOA stuff is pointing to that. It's like, oh, this is all can be play. This all can be play. Everything can be play.
Yeah. That gave me chills, and it's reminding me of I played a ton of hacky sack.
Yay.
I'm like, it's like if we're playing hacky sack, who the fuck cares? And what was the hacky sack play kids? I lost the second half.
Yeah. And there's a anger that comes up because playing is frustrating sometimes and helpless sometimes. And then you got to do an emotional release so that you feel free enough to play again or say no.
Whoa.
To
I'm mad. I'm mad that you said gotta do an emotional release and then you get to play again. Why isn't your emotional release play too, huh?
It probably is. It
Why
is.
Why are you doing it if it's not play, huh? You lost the frame.
It's a fun, good frame. It is a good frame. But like, I don't know. My experience of the emotional release is I don't want to fucking do it, especially in a room full of people. So I'm like, I have to do it. But then the emotional release only works when you're enjoying it. So like, I started the anger release. I was being angry, and I was like collapsing into the anger because I didn't want to do it. And then like it started getting fun, and then the anger actually came out for real.
Yeah.
So even the emotional releases only work when you're playing.
I agree insofar as that they definitely work better. And something I relearned this week, which is I think when you're in the retreat environment or you're on the fucking call with Joe Hudson or a coach or whatever, it totally makes sense to just be like, hey, like, if you can just like let yourself not enjoy it for a little, just like scream in the room with 50 people for 5 minutes, you're going to start enjoying it. But for me, when I don't have such support or such like an opportunity or container, basically what I relearned this week is like, it was like, oh, I should do the anger release. And it's like, no, I don't fucking want to, so I'm not going to. And it's like, oh, I want to like walk and be like, fuck. It's like, I want to do a way smaller version of anger. Like, I just want to be like, fuck. And it's like, oh, I want to write anger and like, fuck you. And then like letting that escalate. And then eventually like, oh, I actually do want to get in my car and scream. And so basically I'm like, I think doing emotional releases when I don't want to isn't worth it almost all the time. But when there is like a unique opportunity, like being at this fucking retreat or being on a call with like a very skilled coach who I like and trust, it's like, oh, I do want to like push through, like temporarily disable my defenses, even though part of me doesn't want to. But on an everyday basis by myself, I think I don't want to do that. And in my experience, that's been quite inefficient for me to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. Another experience I had was I was 100% not locked in the entire retreat, but that means I was locked in. But it was like the way that a friend of mine said it felt like I moved back my power to create space for my child, like my child self, and I was just like being a kid the entire retreat, and I trusted the facilitators enough, for them to shape my reality instead of me shaping my own reality, by giving them the authority, the power in the room to guide and do the things that they're gonna guide us through, instead of holding my power and like shaping my own reality, which is what I usually do if I'm back in Seattle and I don't trust the people, like fully trust the people around me to shape it in a way that feels healthy and safe and
And What do you mean when you say be a kid?
Oh, like I was being a kid, as in I was basically like smiling and I was like, like being a little kid and projecting stuff onto other people and then chasing them and running away from them and
Got it. Cool.
like all the fucked up ways I'm a kid and also all the great ways I'm a kid. I was being a kid. But when I'm like in myself fully and in my power, then it's just this like feeling of I am shaping my reality and I'm not chasing anyone. It doesn't feel like I'm working with any of the child parts. I'm just being an adult. And there's an experience of that's great when it's appropriate. And it's not as playful. It's not as fun. Yeah. Like in a coaching context, like if someone's acting as a coach, you want them to be the adult in their room because you're gonna be like, like you're gonna be vomiting all your shit.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be the coach in the room when there was actual coach. So I was like,
Nice.
and in that other people get to project shit onto me too.
Nice.
And get triggered by me, which is also a really fun experience.
Dope. That sounds great.
Yeah.
One more thing on the play. Every day I have a daily experiment, which is like usually a question. Like today, I don't know, 2 days ago, it was like do nothing. Or it could be what happens if I do nothing today. But kind of in the Taoist sense, like I did things. I just didn't try. Yesterday, the daily experiment was close. And I didn't even know what that meant when I wrote it, but I kind of did. But one way I interpret it now is like, in the same way that a level of development is arbitrary, and in the same way that all the emotional work you did this week was just play, like clothes for me are so obviously arbitrary. It's like, what's the best outfit I could wear? And it's like, what? What? It's like, well, what's the context and what do you want to wear? That like it's so obviously arbitrary and based on context and like based on what I want is what I want to wear. And in the same way, like what level of development do I want to be at? Like what retreats do I want to go to? Like how much money do I want to make? Like what do I want to do with my time? What do I want to focus on? Blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, it's all clothes.
Yeah. That's so good. Yeah. Yeah. They're all clothes that you're wearing. Oh, I like that a lot. Oh, there's like, we're doing a lot of the projection exercise. We always ended it with a eye contact meditation thing where we're basically asking, what are you essentially to the other person over and over again. And the intro to that is there is a thing that you are essentially outside of the projections. And we're going to touch into that. And then it ends with eye contact and asking the other person, what are you essentially? And that space does feel, God or whatever you want to name it, open awareness, everything, nothing. Honestly, you can use everything to describe that. So there's no like right answer because you're answering every time the other person asks you after you feel into it. And yeah, there is an experience of that is not this, but also it is this. And this is playful and dependent on the context, and it can be whatever it can be, and it doesn't determine the value of what you are essentially.
Mm-hmm.
That might come off as a little confusing, but it made perfect sense to me, so fuck you.
Can you convince me that I am something essentially? I'm a little bit skeptical of that.
No.
Okay.
Can't. But you can ask yourself that question.
I'm kind of like, I know, like I can do like, what am I essentially? And like touch that thing. but intellectually I don't believe that because everything's empty. That's what they tell me. So I don't believe I'm anything essentially, but I do like that exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like it's like, what is the thing in which like things are projected? What is that? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess maybe I can get behind it intellectually if it's because it's like, what am I essentially? Because I'm like, I is empty, but if we're already constructing I, then you could describe I as having an essence.
Yeah.
It's just that both I and the essence are also empty.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, I can get on board with that. Maybe. I get triggered by reification. I'm scared of reification. I've watched too many New Age cult documentaries, and I'm very scared of reification.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Anything else on play for you?
Hacky sack. Last thing real quick is just like the way everyone works here is so chill. It's fucking awesome. And you could almost describe it as play. Like, I've been helping people cook and like cleaning dishes, and it's so fucking chill. Like, yeah, it rocks. And this guy I help with like farming stuff, Victor, he's out in the fields like 10, 12 hours a day, and he just loves it. I wanted to say this to you. We have that concept of poetic attunement, which if people don't already know it, it's like if I were to listen to Samek just for the pleasure of being with him as he is, and for no other extrinsic value or transaction. And so I feel like he has that relationship with the land. Like, he just poetically takes care of the land and like poetically serves the land and poetically attunes to the land. It's pretty fucking dope. Bang. And let's go back to you. You have 10 minutes. What do you want?
To relax into my humanity.
Boom, banger.
That's what it felt like a lot of the retreat. It was the first time I was in a cuddle puddle. Like, oh yeah, good. Get into a cuddle puddle now. You're just gonna be cuddling with a bunch of humans and regulating your nervous system. You guys did deep work. And yeah, like the safety here of everyone here being like basically people I love a lot, especially my small group that they put you with. It's everyone you know. So Aaron was a friend of ours, was in my small group, and then all the people in my cohort was in my small group. So like everyone I like know deeply, have done a bunch of conversations with, and there's like cuddling with them like all weekend.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, even the incomparable thing, it's like you're just learning how to relax into your humanity with these people you love. And there's a depth of connection that I didn't even think it was possible. When I was driving down here with a bunch of people, even in the car, I felt so much love that I started crying immediately.
Oh yeah.
So on the drive down, just 2 hours from SF to Monterey, I was crying for the latter half of it. I was just bawling because I was fucked. I knew all my identities of keeping me separate and not loved or not, not human or better than or less than. I was all fucked. And I could be loved and my love was okay. And these people would fully let me love. And I just cried and cried and cried. And then I got here on, I think it was like Tuesday or Wednesday night. And saw all the facilitators that you've been seeing online over Zoom for so long, and all the other all the co-facilitators, which are like people who've been working with them for more than a year, 2 years, 3 years, Pablo being one of them. And I just went up to hug every single person, and I'm hugging them and holding them, and I learned how to hug so well.
Oh
Hug
yeah.
in a way where you get regulated by the end of it because you're breathing together and attuning to each other's systems. And I had so much energy. I was in the sky, dude. I was in the fucking sky. And then I went up to Alexa, who's been my coach for the last 8 months. I've never seen her in person. And then I just cried again. I like cried in her arms. I cried in her fucking arms. I've been crying on Zoom calls with her for so many months, but I like went up to her and just cried for like another 10 minutes. And there's so much love that it just broke my heart and took away all the parts of me that thought I was separate, that wasn't allowing the connection or the love in. And it's really soft and really relaxing to not hold on, and to like let people love me and let my love flow out. And yeah, they're just, I want to relax into my humanity, to let love obliterate me. And that's all I've been doing all weekend. There was the final round. The final exercise was all 90 people at the retreat just shared like what they would say if they were to never see anyone here ever again.
Yes.
Tara was like, "Oh, you guys had an amazing weekend and week. So now let's say that you're never gonna see these people ever again in your fucking life, like not fucking in your life. What would you say to them?" And like almost like every other person made me break down in tears.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so sweet. It was so sweet.
That's such a fucking good prompt.
We can end it with that. What would you say to me, Harry, if you were to never see me again, ever again?
Okay, but you have to go too.
Of course I have to go too.
We fucking did it. I don't give a fuck when we die. I fucking love you. Thanks for joining me on this journey. I'm very glad the universe and God brought us together. That fucking rocked and we fucking killed it. And fuck everyone else.
I fucking love you. And thank you so much for triggering the fuck out of me for so fucking long. And I'm glad. I'm so glad that we got to fucking accompany each other in however long we did in this journey together. Love you, man.
I love you. Bye forever.
Bye forever. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for another episode of the Attunement Podcast. A little crazier, a little more wild.
Whoa.
We'll continue doing this for as long as we enjoy it.
How's that for content, everybody? Bang. That's our promise to you. Thanks for listening. Goodbye forever.